Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw aboard Costa Toscana. It's a little bit windy today, and we're just past the Straits of Hormuz, actually, on a very interesting itinerary from Costa. We're going to talk about Costa Toscana, which is Costa's newest ship, and the itinerary we're on with Ruben Perez, who's the general manager and senior vice president for Costa Cruises. You're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. First of all, here we are. It's a little windy up here, but we're handling it, right?
Yes, we are. It's a little chilly, but we're doing good.
Yeah, you're a Florida guy. You're freezing right now. And we see in the background the great Costa emblem, the stack, and we're here on one of the top decks of this wonderful ship. And let's talk a little bit about this, because this is a sister ship to a ship I was on a little over a year ago, which was Costa Smeralda. And so tell us a little bit about this ship and why is it a little bit different from, or is it pretty much the same?
That's pretty much the same core between the Smeralda and the Costa Toscana. These are LNG ships.
Yeah, so liquid natural gas. It's really one of the first ships that's doing this, and it's a very innovative, more environmentally friendly practice, right?
Correct. That is correct. We also have the AIDA brand, and also Carnival has a few ships that are modeled under this vessel.
So you have that, and so, but the features of the ship, except for some of the decor, is essentially the same. And how big is this ship?
This ship is 185,000 gross tons. It has over 2,663 cabins.
So you double that, and you get the double occupancy there of 5,200 plus. It is a large ship, but it doesn't feel like it. It's really a lot of spaces, a lot of different things going on. Now, what are some of the standout design features that you like really about this vessel?
Well, the main one, I think, is the Coliseum, where we have the shows, and I think that was something that we were talking about. Basically, we're bringing the show to the guests instead of the guests going to the main showroom, which is tradition on most ships. So here you have 3 decks where the guests can go to any of the decks, have different features and bars, cafes, the Sushino, which is one of them that's around there. So while you're watching,
sushi place,
correct. So while you're watching the show, you can have something to drink, get up, walk around. Me myself, I like to walk around. I'm not the type that just like to sit down and do things.
It is interesting because that is a little different. Is that they don't really have a main theater? They have this Coliseo, I should say, and all of the shows are there, and they're acrobatic shows, they're singers, they're dancers. It's just an amazing thing, and we actually did a little backstage tour and saw how they all did it, right?
Correct. And you'll see that it's 5 levels of, will go up and down as needed based on the show. It's just incredible, the design that they've done there.
Yeah, so that's really a really key feature of this ship that's really exciting. And they have another theater, but it's not as large. So you not really have a single big stage theater, but one that's sort of encompassing. Now, so one of the things I really like about this ship, another major feature, is the food, which is really outstanding. It's Italian based, but talk a little bit about the options you have.
So basically, we have the archipelago, which I think you had the pleasure of eating with.
You too.
Yeah, that's true. And from there, you have your choice of 3 Michelin chefs, one being Italian, one French, and one Spaniard. But of course, the main thing that we're known for is our pasta. Made on board, fresh mozzarella, made on board.
And al dente. In case
al dente. Right. And in any restaurant, whether it's paid or the main dining room, you will taste the pasta and you will see that it's generally Italian and authentic.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they actually have a dedicated pizza parlor, which is really cool. I found that out on Smeralda, and I got to tell you, I sort of think for my taste, it was the best pizza at sea. So it was a great option as well, right?
I've eaten there twice already.
Yeah, I know. Me too. We had it there the first night, and then we had during lunch, I think, the other time. And then you actually have the others like you mentioned the sushi restaurant, which is just a little sushi alcove. But then you have a teppanyaki grill, right?
We have the teppanyaki. We have the Heineken bar. We also ate there. It's really a bistro. It's a bar area with live bands. Excuse me. But also we have the steakhouse portion of it where we had some nice.
It was a nice steak. I got to tell you, it was a great steak there, and it was a lot of fun, and with the music. So that is a great feature of this ship. You think you're getting on a kind of more contemporary vessel, and the food can be good, bad, but pretty much outstanding throughout. And especially if you like pasta, it's the best ship to be on, right?
I think so.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the range of accommodations on board, because we're all, I think I'm in a premium suite, but you have a lot of different cabins here, right?
We do. The ship has, as we mentioned earlier, I think 2,663 cabins. 1,510 of them are balconies. 106 is a unique concept, a balcony with a terrace. So there's a terrace in between your traditional balcony. There's 106 of those, and there's 28 suites.
Yeah, you can get almost anything you want here, and it really is. I'm on a balcony suite, and it really is very spacious, nice setting, pretty decent sized bathroom, and everything else. Nice size shower. Now let's go back to that entertainment thing. But what are those shows that they have? Because it really is, it's designed for a more international audience. So we're not have a lot of Broadway shows on, but you got a lot of other good stuff, right?
No, we do. We obviously have the acrobatics. One of the features that it allows in the Coliseum is to put the I don't know what they call it, but it's basically the lady that gets on the little stringy things and goes around in circles. It's just fantastic. It's wonderful. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly. It's similar to, I guess, Cirque du Soleil.
It is like Cirque du Soleil, and you see them hanging around. But then you also have a lot of musical performances, whether it's rock bands, whether it's pianists. It's really very international, again, all in the Coliseum. And then you do have that other theater, too, right?
We do. Mainly the shows, you will, even if you're an American guest, you won't feel left out.
Yeah, no, well, it can. And again, there are about, I don't know, how many nationalities on board usually, right?
I don't know the number, but there's a lot. As you can see, we've had from anywhere from Indians to Muslims on board, as well as your general European.
It was a result of where the itinerary we're on.
Right.
Now let's talk a little bit about where we are and the pool decks and everything else. This is pretty cool space here. And there's actually, we were going to originally do this from this wonderful Volare Skywalk, which is right around the corner from this, which is kind of this awesome walk that goes up right by the stacks, and it's right in front of the slide. So there's a lot of stuff to do on this deck, right?
Yeah, it's a large ship, and there's a lot of people, as we know. So basically, it's very well spread out. So we have 4 pools for anybody who wants to use the decks and not feel overcrowded.
Right. And then you have an indoor pool, too, that kind of solarium type thing. Of course, I got to tell you, the best part of that is that's where one of the gelateria outlets is, and then this street food thing, right?
Correct. You have the street food, the hokey pokey. I think I'm not much into them, as you can tell by my gut. But obviously, very good, healthy food for people who are conscious about that.
Yeah. But you do have that gelato, which is fantastic, and it is a very nice, relaxed
Nutella.
Oh, we can't. That's your favorite, mine too. It's Nutella. A lot of outlets like that. Now let's talk a little bit about where we are, this itinerary, because it is a very unique itinerary. We started out in Dubai, and then where did we go?
We went from Dubai to Doha, from Doha to Muscat. Now we're on our way to Abu Dhabi, and then back to Dubai. Very interesting. We've been doing it for several years now. It's very popular for Europeans. So our goal is to introduce it to Americans. Of course, there's always that hesitancy. Because
we have a lot of unfortunately, a lot of history lately in this region. But it's an incredibly interesting historic area. And if you can get more Americans to come and truly understand it, I think you're going to love it. Because obviously, Dubai, a lot of people want to go to Dubai now. Abu Dhabi is kind of rising up in that itinerary list. But to go to Doha, where we just had the World Cup, and then we just were in Muscat, which is very exotic, very, very different.
Right, and they're trying to maintain their culture in the sense of the building, the architecture, totally different than what you see in Dubai with these amazing architectural designs and buildings that they have over there.
And then we did one fantastic shore excursion out in the set with with a desert, a dune drive, a dune dinner, and you can get that. We had a little special one, but it was really truly awesome. We spent a lot of time in Dubai doing that.
Yeah, it was fantastic, though I had my eyes closed most of the trip.
It is. You're surfing the dunes with these 4x4s, and then you get to a place where, in our case, we saw falconry, which was a lot of fun. You'll see me. Hopefully, we'll get a shot of me with my friend the falcon, and then we went to this incredible dune dinner where I think we saw a belly dancer. I don't know.
Belly dancer.
And then there was you mentioned you had to get another one too. So there was this guy who's dancing, has all these. He had a lot of lights on at one point.
He did, and he just kept spinning and spinning and spinning. One spin, I would have been totally on the floor, but he just kept going on. It was an incredible show.
Well, I called him a whirling dervish, but that's actually from Turkey. So he was the equivalent for the Arab. Yeah. Now, so this is an itinerary you really think you want to get Americans interested in, right?
I think so. I mean, I think Americans have to have an open mind for the area. a large area. I felt safe the entire trip. I hope you felt safe the entire trip.
And all they kept telling us, Qatar is the safest place, Abu Dhabi is the safest place. I think there's a contest in the Middle East to say what's the safest place. Not even the safest place just in the region, safest place in the world. So
yeah, I think everybody should have this on their bucket list.
Yeah, it is an amazing itinerary. All these places we've heard about, and it really are increasingly in the news. And there are some amazing things to see. The big cities have amazing attractions. We're heading to Abu Dhabi, which has incredible museums and just might be the theme park capital of the Middle East, right?
Well, yeah, and we are actually going to some theme parks tomorrow. Some of our guests are going to the Ferrari World and Warner Brothers, I believe is the other one.
I know. I'm looking forward to that. Now, we talked about that. How do you sell this ship to Americans? What are the keys for our travel advisor viewers on selling Costa Toscana to the American market?
It's getting over that stigma. It's something different than your typical Caribbean cruise. Here it's more cultural, obviously big cultural. And I think it should be something that Americans experience and understand mainly.
Well, and that's it. And so normally we think of Costa as being in the Med. In fact, a year and a half ago, we were in the Med on a nice itinerary very short itinerary, but we're well enough from Barcelona to Rome. And that's where I got to know these ships. These are the brand new ships of Costa, but this is really off the charts. Very, very different, very, very exotic, yet accessible, and as we said, safe. So I guess you tell the travel advisors out there, really consider this for your clients because this is something they might be interested in.
Yeah, it's a different run from your typical Caribbean that everyone's done 5, 10, 15 times. So
that's for sure. It's definitely, as we say, there's a beautiful. We're heading around up to Abu Dhabi now, which is actually not that far from Dubai, but we've been circling around here a bit, right?
Yeah, time to expand their horizons and try different things, including the Med, which obviously we sail there for many, many years.
Yeah, well, I really think more Americans and more of your clients should give Costa a good try now, not just for the Med, but for these other itineraries. There are a lot of options in cruising, but this is one that I think is kind of unique and well worth the effort for those of your clients that want to explore a region that they may not have thought about before, but they've been hearing a lot about in the news. So, Ruben, I want to thank you for taking the time here on this little windy day here as we sail up. It's been great sailing. Now, where can travel advisors in the States go in terms of a URL or something to learn more about Costa?
CostaCruises.com.
That's very simple. Again, great to sail with you this time. Great to have a lot of dinner.
Let's go have some coffee and warm up a little.
I think so. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.